Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is the newest movie adaptation for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. By now, you know the story of the turtles. You know, they were baby turtles that fell into some toxic ooze that made them anthropomorphic, made them talk. They were raised by the rat Splinter. He taught them martial arts, and now they're Ninja Turtles. And in this movie, it explores more on, you know, just how the Ninja Turtles just go about living their lives, how they want to be part of society, but Splinter has taught them that the humans will reject them because they are what they are. Soon enough though, when they meet up with April O'Neil, she's hoping to find a way to really bring them into society where they can be embraced, where they can then experience the life that they want to experience. I grew up loving martial arts, I grew up loving animals, but surprisingly enough, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a franchise I never really got invested in. I mean, I would casually watch it on TV after school as a kid. I actually had a Donatello bow staff growing up that I played with all the time, but ironically enough, I was never a Ninja Turtle fanboy. But this movie definitely had some potential to it. It was getting quite a bit of hype around it as it was leading up to its release date, and I was like, you know what, let's check this out. So getting what I like about this movie, okay, let's get right into it. The animation in this movie is really good. You're really starting to see just how much influence the Spider-Verse movies are having on animation now, because it has a very Spider-Verse kind of flair to its animation. The color stands out, the motion of the characters really stands out, it adds kind of a comic book kind of look and flair to it. It was an animation that I really felt worked for the Ninja Turtles because it just made everything they do stand out. Also, one little subtle detail that I'm glad this movie did that I don't feel like any of the other Ninja Turtle adaptations have really done is they, I feel anyway, casted legitimate teenagers to voice the Ninja Turtles. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they should be voiced by a younger group of actors. I mean, every other adaptation I feel like I've seen them in, they're voiced by adults that really aren't trying their hardest to sound younger, sound like teenagers. It's like Hollywood finally decided, like, okay, that clearly isn't working, let's just cast actual teenage actors to voice these Ninja Turtles so it feels more real. Because of that, I think it really captured the youth and the innocence and the naivety that these turtles are supposed to have, but also the fact that they want to experience what it's like to just be teenagers. They want to go to high school, they want to meet human characters, they want to know what it's like to just be out there in the world. They don't want to be confined to their life in the sewer. I think that's the other area that I appreciate in this movie. It was the storyline. It's a very deep personal story for these characters, you know, it's about being accepted in the world, even though you're different, even though you look like what you look like, in their case anyway. It really went for the heartstrings on more than a few occasions, and I'm glad it did that. Since right now I'm also very vague with this world, so I don't really know who a lot of these characters are, but I will say, Ice Cube, as the villain of the story, thought he was perfect for it. I mean, Ice Cube just has a voice of making himself sound tough and angry and intimidating, but he also just has a delivery to himself where he's always just able to deliver something that's really funny. Makes for the perfect villain for a Ninja Turtles movie that is not Shredder. Getting to some of the give and take though. Is this movie funny? At times, yes. But it didn't have me on the floor as often as I would have liked to have been. In fact, I'm not sure if I ever could go that far with the comedy. Like, yeah, similar to the Spider-Verse movies, this movie has a lot of comedy in it, but I feel like the Spider-Verse comedy was always way more effective than it was here. It's possible maybe it's the fact that, you know, I'm getting older now and I'm not a little kid anymore. Maybe it's just one of those like, all right, this is just humor that will cater more towards the younger audience that this movie is undeniably trying to target. As a result, if you're an adult, there might be some jokes or some humor that's just not really going to be for you. Also, I do have to be honest right here. Maybe this is just me, but I didn't feel like all of the Ninja Turtles got a moment to really stand out. I didn't really walk away from this movie like really loving all four of them as characters. Like, Leonardo is definitely getting the spotlight a lot here. You feel like he's one who's most passionate about joining, you know, society and being a part of just the teenage experience and everything that goes with that. And, you know, the movie's really about him emerging as this leader. Raphael, I thought, also got a lot of screen time because you see, you know, how he's kind of a punk and he has that rebellious attitude. Donatello and Michelangelo, though, I feel like for me, they kind of got a little bit left in the background. I mean, Donatello's supposed to be this genius. I didn't really see a whole lot of elements of that. Michelangelo's supposed to be the clown of the group, and you know, I wish he had me laughing more than he did. You could say pending how well this movie does and we get sequels, maybe then they'll be able to flesh out those two a little bit more than they got in this movie, but I don't know. In an introduction to these characters, I would like to see all four of them really get their moments to stand out. and I felt 2 out of the 4 of them didn't. Also, this movie is definitely namely geared towards fans of this franchise, because there are a lot of other mutant characters that just get thrown at the screen and thrown into the movie. Not all of them really stand out for me, and most of them I didn't really walk away feeling that much of an interest in the characters. I felt like these mutants were just there for the sake of the story. It's like, yeah, the whole point of like Ice Cube's character is he leads this group of mutants that also kind of underwent a little bit what the Turtles went through, but I mean, if his little gang was like taken out of the movie, would the movie have been any different? I don't think so. I think they were just there for the sake of nostalgia and fan service. Also, what surprised me a lot with this movie is it wasn't as action heavy as I thought it was going to be. And as a result of that, it made the movie feel very slow at times. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of fight scenes or a lot of really big, memorable fight scenes that I could walk away saying, oh, that was awesome. I mean, for most of the time, it's just the Turtles trying to find their place in the world. They develop their friendship with April O'Neil, and she's trying to find ways to help them any way that she can. As a result of that, there's a lot of downtime, a lot of slow moments, and I felt like if they just could have thrown a little more action, a little more comedy, a little more development on certain characters, we could have gotten a little bit more behind this movie, or at least I certainly would have anyway. We do get a big, pretty fun and exciting action scene at the very end of the movie, but I was sitting there like, I need this to pay off big time because of how slow the rest of the movie was, and for me, it didn't pay off as much as I felt it should have. So all in all, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, for me, it feels like a kid's movie. It has really good animation. I liked the voice acting all across the board, from the Turtles to the villain. Had some funny moments, not all of which hit with me. It had some good action that I think we should have gotten a lot more of. I think some characters should have been fleshed out more. I think some characters didn't need to be in the movie at all. And in the end, when I say kids movie, I feel like this is the type of movie that's just meant for a younger audience. I feel like kids will go into this movie and have a really good time. Maybe its goal is to really reinvigorate the Turtles for a new generation rather than the older generation. So I guess I would hope if they do go forward with a sequel, which the end of the movie definitely implies that they will, I really hope that if that happens, they find a way to get to that healthy middle to cater to all variety of Ninja Turtle fans, because I do believe this franchise has the potential to do that. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.